Good morning and welcome, dear friends. Welcome to our spiritual home, the Unitarian Universalist Church of Tarpon Springs. My name is Barbara Rosen, and I'm serving as your worship associate today. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm an older white woman with white hair, green eyes, and glasses to read. I'm wearing unusual patterned clothing in oranges. I am from the Seneca Nations in Upper New York, and we want to acknowledge that here at the church, we are on the lands of the Tocobaga and Seminole people. We are a church of many welcomes, and we offer a warm welcome to all of you. This is a liberal community for all ages, promoting spiritual growth, social justice, and the arts. To learn more about events, our church calendars on our website at uutarpon.org, or we'd be happy to talk with you during the coffee hour. For those present with us in the building, we have connection cards available near the hymnals in the pews. If you would like to fill them out, we can stay in touch with you. We also have small cards that will give you an opportunity if you wish to share joy or sorrow, if you prefer to do it in writing, that we do at the end of the service. Today's service by Reverend Katie Culbert brings us Brigid, the ancient legend, modern icon. And our special guest today is Brigid. She is both a pagan goddess and a Catholic saint. Brigid is mother, maiden, and crone. She is fire and water, life and death, uniting the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Brigid will share her symbolic altar as we celebrate the approaching end of winter and the return of the sun. Contributions to the altar honoring symbolic and Brigid are encouraged. Bonnie Whitehurst and our choir will bring us the music today. And the first piece is Touch the Earth, Reach the Sky, number 301 in the gray hymnal.
And take notice of verses 4 and 5 that are underneath the music.
Touch the earth and reach the I am Brigid, Brigantia, Brid, bride, Brigid of the mantles and the hearth fire, Brigid of the fair face and the strong hands, Brigid of the triple flame, mother, maiden, crone. I offer to those who seek my blessings poetry, so that you will see the poetry in all things, healing, and the will to extend your healing to all things, crafting and creativity to create a better world for all things. As we move from the darkness of winter into the light-filled days of spring, let us rejoice in the transformations happening all around us and inside us. I offer you protection. I offer you hope. Let us come together today to honor and to celebrate the cycle of the seasons and our ever-changing lives. So may it be. Now we will light our chalice. I believe the children are going to light it this morning.
So these are the words of Marjorie Montgomery. I think he's a little nervous. Okay, you want to read it?
Life is a great gift for which we are grateful. We gather in community to celebrate the glories and the mysteries of this great gift.
Betty will read the covenant with you.
I guess recently you've heard us use the word covenant. We want to be in covenant, so we're going to start reading this and have it part of our worship service each Sunday. So if you'd like to follow along with me. We strive to look for and encourage the best in each other as we move towards justice, peace, and love for both ourselves and for the world. And when we fall short, we will seek understanding, reconciliation, and return to covenant.
And at this time, we'll sing Spirit of Life, number 123, in the gray hymnal.
Good morning again to all of you. What a joy it is to be here in this lovely church. You may wonder why I, Brigid of Kildare, Ireland, speak with a southern accent and not an Irish one. It is true that I was born in Ireland and I'm most well known there, but what is also true is that I am a goddess and a saint. Therefore, I exist in all places, in all spaces, at all times, and my stories travel through time beyond the limitations of language and accent. And so for today, I speak with the beautiful Southern accent. I am here today to talk to you about my legacy, who I was and who I will always be. It is told that I was a goddess thousands of years ago. In Celtic mythology, I am the goddess of wisdom and poetry and many other things. In Roman mythology, I am the goddess of justice and law and victory. And when Christianity spread, many people stopped calling me a goddess and instead said I was a saint. People are spiritual animals and experience the world and make sense of the world in all sorts of ways. Connecting with a goddess, such as myself, is a way for people to feel more connected to the natural world in a human way. And it is a way to lift up gratitude for all that we have while also lifting up our hopes and our dreams for what we need, for what we want, asking for good fortune and for blessings. At different times of the year, when the cycles of the seasons change, goddesses are honored with songs and dance and gifts. Altars are created filled with items that symbolize my blessings, like the one that has been crafted here today. In a moment, I would like you all to come forward to place any items that you brought for the altar. And if you haven't brought any items, that's fine, but come forward and see the beauty that has been lovingly offered. These items are connected to me in some way as the goddess of the coming spring, the goddess of new birth and life, the goddess of fire, of hearth and home, the goddess of creativity, the goddess of forgery, which is just another word for working with metal to craft tools. That's what forgery is. I invite you to take your time as you view the altar and hold in your mind and in your heart the blessings that you desire as we move out of the darkness of winter and into the light of spring. So what I'm going to ask is that the adults would come up first, and then the children will come up after, at which time we will sing them out to the religious education classes. And I think the best way for this to work is for folks to come from this side, come through, and then go back around in that way. That seems like the most orderly way to do this. So again, I invite you just to take some time, look at the altar, and just be mindful. You are now invited to view the altar and place any items you have. pass this flame of our chalice on to y'all, and I have these sheets for y'all that symbolize different pieces of the goddess.
Now is the time in the service when we take our offering for the work and welfare of this church. This month, the Social Justice Council is asking for donations for the navigators. For those at the church, there are plain envelopes in the pews to use if you wish to donate cash, and you can write your name on the envelope if you'd like. For those at home, please go to our website, uutarpon.org, click on the Donate button, and select Social Justice, Give the Plate. The offering will now be given and received. And our next music is Brigid, Cruz.
Very used to technology. This is all new to me. Thank you for offering me grace. At this time, I would like for us to take a moment to be together in the silence, and I invite you to think of folks you know that are in need of healing. Think of the healing, think of love, radiate that love out beyond this space. So let us now enter into that silence. This night, they laid cloths for birthing and healing over thorn branches for my blessing. As I walked the land, the divine dew, twice sanctified by the dawn and the day both, soak them sacred again and enrich them with virtue for the passing of all pain. This night, they sweep the hearth and house and bless the barn and the beasts, settling the cattle as queens in the golden hay of gratitude for the animal alchemy. This night they leave out the old gifts of grace, the milk and the salt and the bread, and light the lamp in the window with love for the princess passing in peace. This night the stranger that knocks will be welcomed and warmed, invited to stretch their feet before the fire and offer a story to the circle. This night, as the moon rises over the mountains, the old songs are sung, and the women watch and wait, plaiting the rushes and the reeds into ancient patterns of power. This night, as all surrender to sleep, I walk the land lightly, breathing blessing over barn and beast and babe. I, who fear no dark, goddess named and God reborn by water and fire and blood, and the three who are one. This night, your ancient abbess and lady of the light of Kildare's oaken cell, whose cloak enfolds the land, comes by. For this night is Brigid's night. Thank you. I am known by many names, and I am known by many cultures. I am within each of you. I hold the eternal flame within your sacred self. This fire never dies out. The flame within you sparks through the darkness with creativity and inspiration. It rises up into your heart so that you are fueled and nurtured by love. The flame rises into your throat so that you can express your words, what you desire to put out into the world. The flame is held in your head full of wisdom and knowledge that is always within you. I stand at thresholds, the in-between places that honor the courage to be brave and strong and confident, to forge your way through the obstacles and the barriers. Once you proceed and cross over, there is no going back, and your life will take on a new journey and a path if you are willing and you are ready. I am here, and I am ready to midwife you through what is ready to be born. The fire within has helped grow those seeds that are here at this time, and they are ready to emerge. I carry a sword along with a shield to be on the battlefield. I am not thirsty for blood. I am not thirsty for revenge. I am thirsty for truth and for justice. I will help you with your battles and the battles that we stand for, the battles that we stand with. Our time is calling for you and us to enter these battles with a new spark to fuel the flames through vision, to heal by being sovereign. I am here to help us smith, craft, and forge our weapons that will empower us to choose our battles and be the voices of the people, be the voices of the children and the animals, the plants, and this planet. Help me by opening and spreading my cloak, which will protect and preserve our sacred lands. There are many stories and legends about me. I crossed through the times when men and women once worshiped the rhythms of nature. I survived by being made a saint and am now being seen again in many different ways. Change, dear sister and brother, for we can change the way that we perceive these times and our realities. Morph into what pulls and tugs at your heartstrings. We can become anyone and everything that calls our souls out of the darkness and into the light. Never forget the darkness, because that is when we rest and we dream and we are recharged. Let us heal together, heal ourselves, heal each other, and heal our lovely earth. We are no longer alone, and we are stronger when we are united. I am awakening you once again as we emerge from our hibernation and come back into the light. Celebrate this time and spend time outside, witnessing all that is rising and emerging within and without. So it is, blessed in bulk. These words were crafted by Kelly Ingalls and adapted by Reverend Katie Culbert. I am honored to be here today in Florida to share with you my life and my legacy as a pagan goddess and a Christian saint. A life that I hope will continue to inspire. And so, yes, I am both pagan and Christian, and I feel very much at home with you today in a Unitarian Universalist congregation. Because y'all honor all the many ways that we connect to that which is greater than ourselves. I am somewhat of a divine enigma. I am a bridge between two traditions, paganism and Catholicism. These two traditions are unique in their own way, but they do have commonalities. When we open ourselves to all the various ways to deepen our relationship to ourselves, to one another, and to the divine, we are better for it. I offer to those that seek my blessing, healing, creativity, inspiration, protection, and more. I am who you need me to be. I am the goddess of the flame, liminal, born on a threshold at the moment of dawn, with fire bursting like a halo. I stand with you in the in-between points in your life, and I am here to support you. I am a triple goddess, maiden, mother, crone, representing every stage of a woman's life. I would like to share with you a poem written by Marian Brigantia van Eupen that speaks to the significance of maiden, mother, crone. Brigid, bright maiden of light, Brigid, young and poor, pure, you who carry the innocence of my magical child, who knows where to find the unicorn in the wild forests in my life. You who are the fire of healing within us, lighting up the dark places in my memory to be held in your love. You who are the ignition of the flame of inspiration, showing new ways of being. I see you breaking through the frozen earth as snowdrops, so fragile and still so resilient. I hear your presence in every breath, singing in the springtime as the light returns. I feel you touching me with your white light, stirring the source of my potential, meeting me in you, maiden, Brigid. I see myself true. Mother Brigid, I follow you to the fertile lands where my steps synchronize with the resounding rhythm of my heartbeat. The place of creation where you show me how to allow trust to grow into abundance. You who are the waving fields of golden grain at harvest time, the flowing light of the cosmic cow, nourishment for my soul. You invite me into your loving embrace, which unlocks all the lost places inside of me. The times that I could not find you when I did not know you, there you light your fire, hospitable and warm, and still linger on the threshold. There you feed me from your healing cauldron, the true medicine that comes from unconditional love. The true medicine that comes from unconditional love. And still I wonder if I am deserving. Here you touch my heart softly and tenderly, meeting me, and you, Mother Brigid, I welcome myself home. Crone Brigid, I follow you to the liminal places between space and time, following the footprints of your wise white wolf into the unknown. Here you teach me how to howl, to mourn for all that I have lost, offering you my sadness and my despair. In return, you offer me a key, which opens up the gateway. Here you forge your fires burn strong and bright, shining your light deep inside, touching the darkest places within me, melting away all the dross, all that is not real or mine to carry. With every echoing beat of my heart, the lead turns to gold, pain transformed to peace, anger transformed to love, fear transformed to trust. I emerge from your waters, the source of my own ancient knowledge meeting me, and you, crone Brigid, I know myself whole. What a beautiful poem inspired by my legacy. As I mentioned, I am very, very, very old. I have existed for thousands of years. It has been heartbreaking for me to witness the shift through history toward a patriarchal society in which women are not equal to men. In my Celtic culture, this is not the case. Celtic women are valued and respected not only as mothers and wives and daughters, but also as warriors, as queens, as priestesses, as craftswomen. Celtic paganism and all of paganism honors both the male and the female aspects of the divine, the god and the goddess, in many different forms. Masculine and feminine aspects of the divine are seen as equal, and both are necessary. They're both necessary. Each has a role, and those roles aren't necessarily based on gender, because the Celts have a more fluid perspective on gender roles. I founded a monastery. I'll tell you more about how that came to be in a minute. And my leadership was equal to that of St. Patrick, which I overheard are having some celebration for St. Patrick. So St. Patrick was given his own holiday in 1903, 120 years before I was given my holiday, which just happened last year, by the way. But better late than never, I suppose. There are many stories which have been told about my life, both as a goddess and as a saint. And I wish I had time to tell you all of them, but since I do not, I've chosen a few I feel are most significant, beginning with what is known as my mantle, or my cloak, and how I used it to outsmart the king and obtain the land that I needed to build my monastery. A mantle is not rigid. It's a cloth that is wide and sheltering and inclusive. It has been said that within my mantle, both Christians and pagans can find the divine presence revealed in the ordinary patterns of life. They can draw close to the divine in outdoor places, and they can look to the past to find new patterns of life for the 21st century. Soon after I was ordained by St. Patrick, I wanted to establish my own monastery. I decided that the edge of Kildare was the ideal place because it had ample oak forests for firewood and building, and there was fresh water in a nearby lake and a large, fertile, open plain for growing food. I approached my old acquaintance, the King of Leinster, and I asked for land in Kildare on which to build my monastery. And he refused. He didn't want to give up that hard-earned land. And I was not deterred, and my followers and I prayed that the king would change his mind and that his heart would soften. The second time I asked him, I asked for as much land as my cloak would cover. And he thought that this was ridiculous. And so he agreed. And he met me on the plains of Kildare. When the king saw my small cloak, he laughed out loud, but he was soon sorry for doing so. I took off my cloak, and I told 4 of my followers to take hold of a corner and each walk in 4 different directions: north, south, east, west. And as they walked, my cloak grew and grew and grew until it covered hundreds of acres. The king was true to his word and granted me the lands for my monastery. On this land, I founded one of Ireland's most sacred early Christian monasteries about the year 470, often referred to as the Church of the Oak. The king was so taken by my miracle that he became a patron of mine, funding building and funding food and other necessities for the monastery, and it grew. My mantle is now known as a place of spiritual protection, a place of love and compassion, safety and healing. My mantle is often invoked by the sick with these words: Brigid, spread thy mantle of protection over me. Healing the sick and offering comfort and care to those who are suffering is very important to me. I am known for my magic in the pagan community and for my miracles in the Christian community. To modern folks, magic and miracles might seem silly and irrational and impossible, but to many who feel the world is much more than just intellectual, there's power in the mystery, and there is power in the wonder beyond what is contained in our minds. I have come to you at this time of the year, of the wheel of the year, for a special reason. February, a little more towards the beginning of February, but February is the midway point between the winter solstice and the spring equinox. For Celtic pagans, this time of year is marked by the celebration of Imbolc. And Imbolc is sacred. It is symbolized by the coming of spring and the return of the light. Now, the climate here in Florida is a little different than the climate in Ireland. Quite frankly, I'm enjoying being here in Florida and not freezing in the snow. But Florida is not immune from the darkness that stretches over our days during winter. This darkness isn't necessarily a bad thing. As I had mentioned, the creative act of life begins in darkness, within the womb, rather than with the birth itself. And so, through the winter months, we consider the dark days to be dream time and the time for creation. But for many of us, including this Reverend Katie I keep hearing so much about, the lack of sunlight can be a little bit depressing. Reverend Katie does not like waking up in the morning when it still looks like it's nighttime. And she does not like feeling sleepy when it's about 5 o'clock in the evening and the sun has gone down. And so at Imbolc, we celebrate the return of the light. It is a time of renewal, a time when new life arises out of death, a time that shows us that creation is continual and ongoing. At Imbolc, I am honored as protector of hearth and home, and I am honored as a fertility goddess. Imbolc, a Gaelic word that refers to sheep, pregnancy, and lactation, is the time of the year when lambs are born. In ancient times, the birth of lambs would bring a ready supply of milk to feed the tribe through the rest of the late winter and into spring until the land could provide sustenance again. Unless you come from a place where it snows, you may not be familiar with this flower that's often associated with Imbolc, and it's called the snowdrop. Has anyone ever seen a snowdrop? A lot of people. Yes, and it is one of the first flowers to appear after winter. And in some region, it pokes up right through the snow at the beginning of February. Some say that the snowdrops appear as I walk across the land, strewing them from under my cloak. I will neither confirm nor deny this. Modern-day Imbolc celebrations remind us that I am alive today, just as I was in long ago times, because I am a goddess of fire. Because I am a goddess of fire, many modern Imbolc traditions involve flames, This is why there are several candles on the altar. If you choose to incorporate candle lighting into your in bulk celebration, I encourage you to focus on the intentions you wish to plant and nurture for the year. And this is a powerful time right now for starting new projects of any kind, particularly creativity work. As I've mentioned, I am known as the goddess of poetry and of wisdom, animals, midwifery, and healing. I am also the mistress of the forge. One of my beautiful devotees, Lily Weichberger, explains how she connects to this piece of my identity. Lily uses the concept of the forge as a compelling tool, a metaphor for spiritual transformation. She says, our souls enter the crucible of the spiritual journey, and there are relationships with the divine, and it heats the metal, and it purifies the metal. The ego is burned away in the fire of our connection with the infinite, and the strong metal of our souls can then be shaped by our life experiences. Just as iron tools are hammered hard to make them useful, life also beats on our souls. Amen? Life beats on our souls. And so we are then plunged into the living water where they are cooled and nurtured. The process is repeated again and again and again, honing and sharpening our inner being until the raw metal has been transformed into a perfect tool. Meditating on Brigid's forge can give us greater endurance for the trials and the tribulations we all go through on our spiritual journeys. The times when life requires that we openly walk through the fire. There are many items on the altar that symbolize nature. You might have noticed there are flowers and rose quartz, amethyst, honey. There are birds. We have some seeds here. Looks like rosemary, sage, parsley, and thyme. That was funny. What else? We have our blackberries, bread, cheese to represent the milk that the lambs give us. We have other baked goods here, and the fire. A little bee, a little frog, an owl, and of course, the sword. I am sad that modern Western society has become a little bit disconnected from the earth, more so than any other culture in history. The earth is sacred and divine. It is creation, and it is something that is constantly happening. It is constantly in motion. There is no beginning and no end to the cycle. I am the daughter of Dagda, the Celtic father god, and I am the daughter of Dayu, the mother goddess. And consequently, I have inherited a very strong connection to the entirety of creation. I have a deep, nurturing relationship with water, especially with rivers and springs and wells. I also associate with the oak tree, which I have noticed there are many beautiful oak trees here in Florida. I am also associated with the birch tree because trees, roots, and branches connect earth and sky. They are the doorways between the worlds. They symbolize the balance and the harmony that exists within the natural world. And their new leaves each year are reminders of the rebirth that comes after winter's death. I pray this new world reclaims the divine connection with creation and understands how important it is to protect it. Now it is time for me to return to my realm. I am so very grateful that you invited me to be here with you today. And as is your custom, we will now sing a song together from your hymnal.
It is hymn number 51 in the Gray Book. 51, Lady of the Season's Laughter.
I leave you with this blessing, written by Mary Tidbury. By mist and by rain, by jewels of the sea, remember, my darling, that you are a part of me. By breeze and by gale, by winds wild and free, remember, my darling, that you are a part of me. By spark and by flame, by the fire's ecstasy, remember, my darling, that you are a part of me. By root and by bud, by leaf and by tree, remember, my darling, you are a part of me.
We hope that you've found meaning in today's service. We close with these words from Amanda Alice Uluhan. Together we have enjoyed the warmth and beauty of stories of this flame and of this special community. As our child's flame is extinguished this morning, we can still remember that its glow is carried within us. We can use our inner lights and this flame to kindle new sparks throughout our lives and the world. May the spirit of peace and togetherness bless your lives.